without spoilers, what is it you definitely think fans of the first two books already know to expect out of this one?
Without like any spoilers.
Without too many spoilers. So assume there's one or two people here who maybe haven't read it yet. But without spoilers, what do they know to expect? So what is a clue book?
I mean, a murder, right?
There's going to be murder. What else is there going to be? Is there going to be kissing?
There's going to be kissing. Yeah, there was no kissing in the first book. No kissing. And then there was some kissing in the second book, and there will also be kissing in this book. There's more kissing.
So murder and kissing, twists, anything else?
A lot of twists, more movie quotes. Can never get enough quotes from the 1984 Clue movie. When I first got this job, they were like, and you can, reference the movie if you want to. And I was like, oh, I will reference the movie. Like, I will definitely reference the movie because some people can speak foreign languages and I can quote that entire film.
How many times have you seen that movie?
Endless times. My parents had this like conversion van, which was like one step down from like an RV when we were kids, and we would go on road trips, and it had this like little tiny television with like a VCR attached. And like that was one of the tapes we had. And it was like this tape that had like Back to the Future, Clue, and then like, I don't know, like half of Harry and the Hendersons or something on it. And we would like watch it over and over and over again. And my brothers and I could like quote the whole movie.
So what was your reaction when you learned you might get to write a Clue book?
I was so excited. I was really thrilled. I mean, I think we were at a conference together like the weekend I found out.
We were, but you spent the whole conference being like, I can't tell you what it is.
No, but didn't I tell you?
You did eventually tell me. You spent like 2 days of the conference being like, I can't tell you what it is. I'm not supposed to tell anybody.
Right, yeah. And then like
and then I broke you.
And I was like, so Jen, it's like
you're like, give me a C.
But I remember we were like walking to dinner one night, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing evil twins. Like, what do you feel about evil twins? And your answer was like, you should always put evil twins in a book.
I'm like, I think you should put evil twins in all your books, Diana.
On my books. So, but that was, I mean, like the reason that Oliver and Vaughn exist is because Jennifer was like, yes, go for the evil twins.
When I was reading that first book and I got to like the first Oliver and Vaughn scene, like it's storming, it's icy, and Vaughn's there. And then Oliver came out and I'm like, oh, with all his weapons. And I'm like, oh, this is the evil twin. I was like, good for me. I'm so glad I said bring on the evil twins.
It's so good. Now I feel like every time I'm stuck in a book, I'm like, maybe this person has an evil twin, or maybe this person is the evil twin and has like a good twin. Like it makes so many things wonderful. And it's fun because like I got, I had the whole like evil twin, good twin thing going on like so long in these books. And I feel like I really got to interrogate it in this one for like spoiler-free reasons. Like I really got to interrogate the concept of like, what is an evil twin? And like, what does that mean to the evil twin, to the people around the evil twin? Like, does the evil twin think he's evil? I don't know.
Does he just think he's the less boring twin?
He's the less boring twin? Or like, it's
like, I mean, is that his point of view?
Well, one of my favorite scenes to write in this one is this scene where Oliver like confronts Vaughn about everything he's doing. And for people who haven't read any of the books, so these are the Greens, Vaughn Green and Oliver Green. They both get to be Mr. Green. And in this one, like Oliver like confronts Vaughn and is like, this is why none of your plans will work. And I loved it because even though we, the reader, have so much sympathy for Vaughn that he's like had to put up with so many of the like horrible things that Oliver does, Oliver's completely right with like all of the things that he accuses Vaughn of, like in that scene. And so it was such a great scene to write because I love writing the scenes where the person that like you, the reader, like don't like is the person who's like dropping truth bombs everywhere. Like it's like such a compelling thing when the villain is like, but I'm actually right about all of this. and they are, and you're like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't know.
He is kind of right.
We're kind of right. Yeah, I think I got like way off track of like, give me a spoilery thing of what to expect.
A spoiler thing. My next question was, without spoilers, can you hint at one thing that fans won't be expecting? Is there something in this book that they completely won't be expecting?
Yes.
Yes. It's just a yes or no question. You probably can't hint at it. Are there lots of things in this book?
Yeah, but there have been people, like, I've been sort of scrolling through the my little hashtag on Instagram or whatever, and there are people who've been like doing screenshots from the interior of this book that I'm like, oh my gosh, spoiler tag that. Like, so it's been kind of interesting to watch. I never know what to say in a mystery, because I feel like if I let like any of the
little things go, then you can.
I mean, you can probably tell from the cover there's a prom. There's a prom in this one.
There's a prom in this one.
There's like ball gowns. There's a couple of murders.
Tuxedos too.
There are some tuxedos. Yeah, but they're not like from Hollywood, because like Orchid gets all of her Hollywood friends to like donate ball gowns to the prom. Like she calls up her designer friends and she's like, bring them out here, because she and Scarlett get in a like queen bee off, which is like, you know, like they were like enemies and they were friends, and now they're kind of frenemies, and it's
excellent. So I was not expecting Hollywood designers.
Yeah, like there's like a bunch. I went and I looked at like a whole bunch of Oscar gowns, and I was like, this one gets sent, and this, because you know they don't like keep those gowns, like the designers keep the gowns. So I'm like, what if Orchid just like called in a bunch of favors and got like designers to like send gowns to rural Maine for a prom?
Oh, that's so great, because like my version of prom, our theme was like some Hollywood nights, something or other, when I was a senior, and I'm like, oh, but this is really is Hollywood nights. You've got all the actual.
It's actually their prom theme is like memorial for the dead night. It's the body count.
You're like, at this point, you just, that is a thing about writing murder mysteries that are also series, that you just end up killing a bunch of people, but you also end up sort of heaping trauma after trauma on your characters. So is it hard after a while to be inside any of their heads after you've done all these things to them? Like, are they getting darker as time goes on?
They are, and especially because like there's some characters that were definitely more of a like comic relief in the beginning. Like Peacock, throughout the series, like all of her chapters have been sort of very comic reliefy, because they weren't done in regular narrative. They were done like in the form of her workout journal in the first book, and the second book they're like status emails to her life coach, and then in the third book she's kind of had enough, and so they're like, she's decided that she's a detective now, and like so everything is her investigative notebook and things like that. And you know, Peacock is a character who's like very focused and can be very like amusing in that way. But like she's seen a lot of trauma, and like she especially saw a lot of trauma in the second book. And so it was actually like really dark trying to write from a place of somebody who was processing her trauma through trying to solve like crimes. And that was hard. And like, I don't know if I want to write murders again. Like I'm working on a mystery and I'm like, can it be like a different crime?
After the Natural series, which was 4 murder mysteries in a row, I was like, I still want to write mysteries, but maybe no murder in the next one. And that's how I wrote. I wrote Little White Lies next, which was a paternity mystery where she's trying to find her dad, but low on the murder. And then Inheritance Games, it's like, why did he leave her this fortune?
Right.
But again, a little lower on the murdery side of things, because you kill so many fictional people in such a short period of time.
Yeah. And especially when I'm killing, it's a YA novel, so I'm killing children, and you know, I'm killing teenagers, and that like weighs on me a lot more. I think like when kids start to die in the second book, like that one hit me, I think, a lot harder than when you know, I killed like just the headmaster in the first book. And like, I mean, it's horrible when anyone's murdered. Like, I don't want to like say anything like that, but it was really hard. And there's like one death in the ballroom with the candlestick that like I wrote it like 2 different ways, and I kind of sent it around for people to read, and I'm like, should I kill this person? Because like I just feel terrible about it.